Okay, you got your license, or you've started your business, or you've started some new workout routine, whatever have you, you've started something new. Do you need to get trained or do you know everything? That's the question. And when I got into this business, oh my gosh, I think I was like shocked, because as agents in the real estate world, you study, you take this test, you get licensed, and it's pretty tough. It's not easy. A lot of people fail over and over. And once you pass it, you're like, oh my God, I have a license. Yay. And you legit go out there, you sign up with a brokerage, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell you they have training, and they may have a training on how to write a contract, how not to stay at a real estate jail or business jail, and good job, go sell a house, but there's no leads unless you join a team. Now, this is a different story if you want to join a team, and a lot of people don't want to join teams because they want to do business on their own. And I mad respect that, because when I started out, I got offers to join teams, and I had just left corporate America, and I just wanted to do my own thing. So I really respect that, but unfortunately, you kind of are out there running blindly unless you're studying and reading and applying and studying and reading and applying. And there is a level of kind of wandering around and trying to figure it out, right? It's that sense of navigating without a map, you know, throwing things in the wall and hoping it hits. And so this video is specific about when you don't have training in business, whatever business you're doing. It could be any kind of business. It could be opening a store and you don't have training. If you don't have someone that is helping you or has been there and teaching you the right way, you will make so many mistakes. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but if you can leapfrog that and not have to make those mistakes because someone has said, hey, don't do these things, don't do ABC, do CDE, and you'll make this much more money and not make all these mistakes, I would say that would be better. And how you do that is you get training. And most places in real estate, they have classes or people that can teach you a very textbook way, but most of the time you really do have to seek it out and pay for yourself. It's very difficult for large brokerages of every different skill set to train people the way they need to be trained, and as well as on teams. They have trainings weekly, but you also have to ask the second question of yourself. First of all, you got to figure out and realize and have the awareness to know that you need training. Second of all, you need to realize, am I coachable? Am I the problem? Like the Taylor Swift song, right? It's me, I'm the problem. Because so many people, like, this is the term I hate the most, is I know. I know. And that's an issue with teenagers. I don't know what it is. I know, Mom. I know. And so whenever I hear I know, I'm like, oh no, you don't know. But you don't know, right? You don't really know what you don't know. And so it's really difficult to train someone or coach someone when they're uncoachable. And what I say is you have to be open to be coached, and you have to be aware and willing to try something different and act like you know something, because you don't. And if you're coming into a business that you don't know, or you've done such few deals, you really don't know what you're doing. Because if you did, you'd be crazy wildly successful, right? So I think coming with a humble heart and open heart to learn is 2. And 3 is that you kind of have to pay to play. I'm sorry. People that have gone through the fire, have walked through the fire, that have created the pattern of life, of understanding the wisdom, the time spent, it's not for free. And what I have found is too, when you give things away for free, and I'm sure all of you realize this too, there's no value on it. Hear me again. When you give things away for free, there is 0 value given to it. So just like when you have a gym and you pay for a trainer, a lot of times people won't show up if it's a free training session. But if they paid all this money, there's a consequence. They're gonna lose the money, so there's pain, so they'll show up. So that is huge when you think about that. So think about that when you're resisting the training class or learning something or having one-to-one training or paying for that, is to understand there's a reason for that, because someone's time and energy and experience is worth money. It's worth that experience to teach you so you can leapfrog, because you'll save time and money for doing that. And I've heard huge thought leaders, and I've read so many books about this, that people that have reached those points when they found that mentor, the coach, the trainer that really took an interest, and they really did everything they said and applied and learned and paid for the classes, paid for the coaching, they were able to level their business up. And I'm gonna reverse back to back in 2014 when my husband Michael was searching, because I was lost, guys. Like, when I got into this real estate business, I thought I was gonna be fine because I had been in sales my whole life, over 15 years in medical sales, which was very cutthroat and competitive. And I thought, I'll be able to do it. I'll figure it out. And I was really freaked out because I was thinking to myself, I gave up a big salary, benefits, car, all the stuff, the bells and whistles to go into business for myself, to be an entrepreneur. And I didn't know what I was doing. It was a really scary time. And I think instead of coaching me and putting me down and trying to pigeonhole me, my husband went online and started searching for some training classes, and he found Tom Berry. Long story short, let's get there. Thank God for the ecosystem, because for me, it's not just the coaches that helped me through the place, but being around in community with other agents that were also paying to get better. So it's like putting yourself in the room. And now I'm doing it again with the Tony Robbins organization. I'm paying a lot of money to be coached again, to learn and grow in my whole life, not just business. And I can literally see night and day growth in myself and understanding. And it's never ending, guys. It's never ending. The journey is never ending. And so if you think you've got it figured out and I don't need it anymore and I'm good, I can handle it myself, I challenge you to go back and think, but do you? Like, when do you stop growing? Because if you stop feeding yourself and stop challenging yourself and stop reminding yourself and having that repetition, you will die. And if you're not growing, you're definitely dying. And so that's why, when I say no training, you have to think about, you have to be in charge. You have to be in the driver's seat to say, I want to grow. This is what I want for my life. And I'm about to pay so I can get to there. You have to pay to get into the rooms you need to be in. And I challenge you, if you're looking around and you're the smartest person in the room, or you're the most money, or you're the most developed in that room, or you're the most fittest in that room, you need to get into a bigger room, friends. You need to get into the room where people are going to push you and expand you and make you grow. And I'm not saying everybody has to want the same things. And it's not just money here I'm talking about spirituality. I'm talking about personal life, love, relationships, whatever have you. We on this planet are here for the human experience. Such a short time. It should be fulfilling. It should be growing. It should be challenging you. That's when people grow the most, is when they're challenged. And it just builds those muscles up, right? Or you're going to atrophy and go to nothing. So that is why I think it's so important to seek out training, and why I sought out training, and I read constantly and I train constantly. I'm always taking classes. I'm always going to conferences to get better, stronger, and I have different breakthroughs every time I go. And because you show up different, you could take the same training class over and over and over again. And if you leave and you apply it and you go back and take it again, you're going to learn something new, because you're a different version when you're watching it the third, fourth, fifth time. It's just like movies. Like when you watched a movie when you were younger and watched it again when you're older, you have different eyes. You're an adult now. You see things differently. You see the hidden adult jokes, right? So that's how training has affected my life. And I am a product of that. I always tell people I'm really fortunate to be a Tom Ferry coach now. I coach 34 clients right now and I'm a teams coach, and I'm also one of their speakers, and I've stretched and grown so much in that ecosystem. I was a client of theirs and worked on my way all the way up and went through all the things to be where I am now. And I'm so grateful for Tom and his organization and what I've learned and grown into. And I've also now paired that side by side. I walk that parallel life with Tony Robbins, and I call him the GOAT because he is the greatest of all time. And he's getting older. I don't know how much longer he's going to be around. And while he's here and I'm learning, and the people I'm getting to meet have just been mind-blowing. So you guys will see that online. But truly, it is me double downing and putting all of my investment in myself. And who you're going to bet on the most should be yourself. It's not a waste of money. I know a lot of people go, oh, are you in a cult? Or are you, what is that thing you're doing? It's weird. And really, that's their limited belief, because you make them uncomfortable. When you want to grow and you want to challenge yourself and you want to learn and do different things and travel and do all these things that life has to offer, sometimes you make people around you uncomfortable. And that's not your problem, that's their problem. And if that's their opinion about it, it's very limited thinking. And if that's what they want to box you into, is that like, oh, I don't do the personal growth thing or whatever, good for them, that's on them. And I do think that there's a challenge too in thinking of people that constantly go to classes, and they're like theoretical people. They just want to learn for learning, like getting their next degree and PhD and over again. I like to say I challenge that with, if you're going to learn and go do things, apply. Learn and then apply. Learn and then apply. Don't just learn, and don't be in action. Action is definitely the most important thing, and taking execution on what you're learning and doing. So if you're trying to hear this loud and clear, I 100% believe in coaching and training, and I think you definitely need to get it. But if you don't apply what you learn and execute it and create those patterns over and over again, you're doing yourself a disservice, and then later on you're going to blame the fact that you did all this and it didn't do anything for you, and when in fact you failed to act. So those are the questions you have to ask yourself. Are you taking action, or are you using this as an excuse to hide from taking action? That's where I think the rub is when people want to go get training and education and coaching. But if you're doing it to grow and go to the next level and scale and get in different rooms, I think it's a beautiful journey, and I welcome you. And that's what my journey's been. And I highly recommend it 100,000%. And if you have any questions, comment below. I'd love to talk with you about it. And if you love this content or you're curious about more, comment. I'd love to do different videos that pique your curiosity on training and coaching. And like and subscribe. I'd love to get some more support for my channel as I'm budding and growing into this world of women empowerment. But it's for you guys out there too, especially if you have a mom, a sister, a wife. You got to know what's going on with the ladies, right? So that's kind of my shtick on coaching and training. See you next time.